There's a lot of success stories with the programs we've helped. Um, if you look, for example, we started a program here in Detroit a few years ago. Detroit was getting a lot of national press on this particular issue as having all of these dropout factories, where the graduation rate was lower than, 20%, 1 in 5 maybe of the kids who started in ninth grade were keeping going. And we started a program of scholarships. We give $100,000 in scholarships to 140 kids at the end of the year. But the kids were all from those schools, and they were all kids who had at least a C average because the A students always get the scholarships anyway. Not that we didn't have some A students in there, but it's really made a difference in a lot of those kids' lives because one, it's someone saying, "I believe in you, and you can do something," and then it's also investing in them and giving them money for books or whatever it might be for schools. And it's really wonderful because someone said, "Well, if you start, with a C student, how do you know they can be successful?" And, my inner me came out and I kind of looked, and George Bush was president at the time. I said, last time I checked, our president was a C student, if I'm not mistaken. He readily admits that. So I think we're okay. And, from all of those classes, a lot of those kids went on and they're graduating now because we're 4 years into it. It is wonderful. I had another program called Dreamgirls. Someone came to me for a grant and they said, well, we have this great program. It's called Boys to Men and it's been running for years. And they told me these great things about how they were helping young men with this program. And me being me, I said, well, what about the girls? You told me you have a growth in gang problems with the girls. What about the girls? And they said, oh, we have something out of the church. And I said, that's wonderful. I said, but if you make it a real program like you did for the boys, then we'll fund it. So we funded this program for, again, against the dropout prevention thing for freshman girls called Dreamgirls. And some of these girls were basically homeless. They had real issues they were dealing with, but they signed up for this course, which said to me they wanted something more than what they were seeing. And I love that program. We started it late in the year, so we couldn't get regular mentors. So my office and I, all of the women in the office, we were the mentors. We went there every Monday and mentored the girls throughout the entire school year. And you could really see we changed their vision of the world. We were talking one day, and in this class there were like 15 girls, and they were 14 and 15. And it came out that each of the girls had seen someone shot. Not knew someone who was shot, but had seen someone shot, which was horrifying to me. And I said to them, do you realize that's not normal, that that's not how most people live their lives? But that was their normal. And so what I think we did through that program was we changed their normal, and they started to see that there were other potentials, futures for them out there. It was great.